employed in focus. We have completed this beautiful poem, and it was a kind of poem that focus completely upon the kind of relationship between nature and human. Okay, so this is you can say a theme, a kind of theme, which we can say that this is the theme that kind of employed in the this poetry. Okay, whenever a question arises that what is the theme of this poem, okay, what is the theme of the daffodils, okay, तो जब भी अगर इस तरीके का क्वेश्चन तुम्हारे एग्जाम में आएगा तो you can just write down these are the themes. The first theme, okay, are you people have gone through the poem? I have said ना कि 2 दिन की छुट्टी and you can just generate a kind of themes कि क्या क्या themes इसमें हो सकती हैं. Have anybody done that? Anybody have done that?
You can't.
Do you have utilized your holidays in studying? Do you guys have done that or not? Okay, Riya, you have done that. So what can be the themes? You have written something. Can you just recite that? If you have done that, can you just recite?
बेसिस पर ही लिखते गए. मतलब इसमें उनका मेन टॉपिक था कोई भी पोएम लिखने के लिए.
ओके.
तो उनकी थीम थी नेचर के साथ ह्यूमन का रिलेशन और सिर्फ नेचर की ब्यूटी को डिस्क्राइब करना भी.
वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड. तो यू आर काइंड ऑफ यस रीच देयर है ना.
सिर्फ नेचर और ह्यूमन का रिलेशन ही नेचर की ब्यूटी को भी, जैसे फ्लावर्स के ऊपर लिखना, और जैसे ये विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ ने फ्लावर्स के ऊपर लिखा, बाकी नेचर की बहुत सारी चीज़ों को भी उसमें मेंशन करना, रिवर्स हो गई, लेक्स हो गई.
Yes, very good, very good. You are like, yes, you just got that. Okay, you just understood, I guess, because you are so close to the themes that we are going to discuss today. All right, very good, Riya. Okay, anybody else have done that? किसने करी मेहनत? Okay, anybody else? Yes. Okay, I guess the answer is no. Nobody has done that. Anyways. So yes, we are going to discuss themes today. Okay, the very first theme, as Riya said, it was that the nature and humanity. Okay, there is a kind of presence of nature as well as humanity. Okay, so this poem, this is the you can say the most significant example of romantic poetry, and this poem, it kind of explores the relationship between nature and humanity. Okay, हम क्या देखते हैं कि ये जो पूरी पोएम है, when we were studying these paragraphs, there are various examples when he has just tried to create a kind of try to explore a kind of relationship between nature and humanity. Okay, he has just made two key points here. Okay, हमने देखा था कुछ poems में, the first point that we have studied in the poem, if you have gone through the slides again, okay, gone through the session again, the first thing that we have studied was that humanity, okay, human beings, they are not separated from nature. Okay, they are not anything which is separated from nature, but rather they are what? They are part of it. Okay, human being जो होती है, humanity जो है, it is not a separate part, but it is rather a combined part of the nature. And second thing जो हम यहाँ पे देखते हैं कि ये जो natural world है, okay, ये जो natural world है, हम अपने चारों ओर जो nature के various elements हम देखते हैं, जितने भी objects हैं, ठीक है, चाहे वो trees हो, चाहे वो landscape हो, these beautiful birds, these animals, these soft breeze, clouds, each and everything, Okay, all these things, they are very essential to human happiness. Getting it? So these are very essential elements, or rather you can say these are the kind of elements that are essential for human happiness. Okay, whenever we have when we were studying all these things, we have very clearly understood that we, by taking the examples, that how there is a kind of a connection between human and nature. And the second thing, we have also discussed that how the kind of bond is essential for human happiness. Okay, the last line, the very last line, when he said that these daffodils, they flash upon that inward eye, and these flash, okay, these memories, they were the bliss of solitude. Okay, they were the blessings of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. Getting it? This last paragraph, it kind of give us the connection, that give us example that how the in order to achieve happiness, nature is a very essential element. Okay, natural word, it is very essential to human happiness. Okay, so this is a kind of theme that we have seen here, the very first theme. Okay, is that clear? Is this point is clear or not? Oh, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so this point is clear, I guess. So you can do one thing, right? You can just imply the paragraphs, those paragraphs which are used as a theme, or you can see, you can just use the paragraphs, the line in the middle of your question, which describe the theme you want to write in your question. Getting it? Whenever we are talking about nature and humanity, the kind of relationship between nature and humanity, you can do one thing. You can just take these lines. Getting it? You have to. This is not a very tough poem. You can just memorize this poem and you can just make your question really grand. Okay, and you are definitely going to achieve good marks. Alright, so this was the kind of theme that has been employed in this poem, the very first theme. Okay, and yes, ये जो togetherness वाली feeling है, like the special bond, ये हम second paragraph में भी देखते हैं. Okay, just I am just giving you the clues. हम ये second paragraph में भी देखते हैं, and third paragraph में भी हम ये देखते हैं, and final paragraph में तो ये चीज़ है ही. Getting it? So yes, this was the theme. There is a kind of like this theme is presented on the whole whole poem from line 1. It just begins from line 1, the kind of togetherness and the togetherness between humanity and nature. ये line 1 से start है, second line से 24th line जो complete, sorry, जो जितनी lines हैं, जितनी भी यहाँ पे lines दी गई हैं, they are directly or indirectly they show or they present the kind of connection between humanity and nature. Okay, so the next theme you can see I have written is memory and imagination. मेमोरी एंड इमेजिनेशन. ओके, तो मेमोरी एंड इमेजिनेशन किस तरीके से यहाँ पे यूज हो सकती है? सी मेमोरी, ये जो पोएम है, इट आर्ग्यूज दैट देयर इज अ काइंड ऑफ स्ट्रॉन्ग कनेक्शन बिटवीन एक्सपीरियंस, इमेजिनेशन एंड लैंग्वेज. एक्सपीरियंस, हाउ? ओके, देयर आर, when William Wordsworth he was defining his poetry, he said that there are four kind of stages. Okay, there were three or four kind of stages. He does not have directly said it. Yes, there are four kind of stages while we see it, but we have just connoted it. Okay, the way we have understood daffodils, just we are connoting like that. So what he has said, that there is something that you experience, and what that experience was, the experience was that you are watching these beautiful daffodils, these golden daffodils, and then you started imagining it. Okay, you are experiencing, you are living that moment, and all these things, they have stored in your memory. Okay, they have been stored in your imagination, and then you have done what? You have what we can say, you try to remember it when you were in some sort of pensive mood or vacant mood, and then you use your language. Okay, you use your language to describe those experiences in a very poetic manner, in a very imaginative manner. So the main focus, of romantic writers were in the imagination. It was like, yes, the prime focus, the concentration of romantic writers, it was on imagination. So imagination, it is the most powerful tool. Without imagination, it's like human is just incomplete without imagination. Okay, if you do not imagine things, it is a kind of, you do not have a kind of life, because imagination, it is that essential. Okay, imagine you develop your personality. Okay, जब तक आप imagination नहीं करते, आप आगे नहीं बढ़ सकते. Okay, imagination of a good future, imagination of a good life, all these things, they are very, very essential. Okay, if you do not imagine your good future, if you do not imagine it, imagine this thing that you are going to live a happy life, you are not going to do that until and unless you imagine these things. Then only you are going to do efforts to understand that, to achieve that. Getting it? So this is the kind of thing, this is the role of imagination in human's life. Okay, and इस चीज को इस तरीके से समझो कि if you do not have imagination, okay, you do not find a way out of your odd situation. This is the time when people try to kill themselves, because they have this kind of failure in their power of imagination. So imagination, this is the prime role in human or individual personality. This is the power of strong imagination. Okay, और देखो imagination की इतनी ज़्यादा why it is essential, why it is that essential, because if you do not imagine yourself in a good position or in good situation, you simply cannot picture any better life. Okay, you can only picture yourself in the agonized one, in the suffered one. अगर तुम खुद से इमेजिनेशन नहीं करोगे तो तब तक तुम उस बुरी सिचुएशन से बाहर आ ही नहीं सकते. ठीक है, हर कोई क्या होता है, बैड सिचुएशंस में होता है. बुरी सिचुएशन हर किसी की होती हैं, हर किसी की लाइफ में आती हैं. दीज एगनीज दे पीपल सफर. ओके, लेकिन वही लोग अपनी जो डाइवर्सिटी है या फिर बुरी सिचुएशन से बाहर निकल पाते हैं. पीपल हु ड्रीम, गेटिंग इट, पीपल हु इमेजिन. So this is the ability to imagine that we find a more bearable way. Okay, the more bearable way to come out of that situation, that adverse situation. So this is the kind of emphasis that romantic writers, they used to give on imagination. Okay, so it is a kind of power. It is a kind of power from where we can sum up, we can summon the alternatives. Okay, we can find the alternatives. Okay, so this is the kind of power of imagination. Okay, imagination चीजों को बदल देती है. Getting it? So there can be देयर ऑलवेज शुड बी अ पॉजिटिव इमेजिनेशन. गेटिंग इट? तुम बहुत बुरी सिचुएशन में हो और तुम और भी ज्यादा उससे बुरा इमेजिन कर रहे हो, तो ऑब्वियसली तुम्हारा जो मोरल है वो बहुत डाउन हो जाएगा. But you are stuck in a bad situation. You are just imagining a good situation, a better situation for yourself. Then only you can thrive. Getting it? तो इमेजिनेशन हमेशा कैसी होनी चाहिए? पॉजिटिव होनी चाहिए. तो यही चीज यहाँ पे कहने चाहते हैं रोमांटिक राइटर्स कि जब आप इमेजिनेशन में, अपनी इमेजिनरी में नेचर को इन्वॉल्व करते हो तो इट इज अ काइंड ऑफ बॉन्ड दैट. गेटिंग इट? सो यस, अब देखो यहाँ पे हम चीज़ों को ही देखें, अपनी पोएम को देखते हैं कि पोइट ने या फिर जो हमारा स्पीकर है, ही हैज़ दिस एक्सपीरियंस सीइंग दीज डैफोडिल्स बैक इन देयर लाइफ. ओके, देयर इज सम काइंड ऑफ इंसिडेंट जहाँ पे सडनली उसने क्या करा था, डैफोडिल्स को देखा था. ओके, एंड ही हैज़ दिस काइंड ऑफ पावर ऑफ इमेजिनेशन. ओके, सो यस, दिस इज द मेन थिंग, राइट, दैट नेचर का जो इन्वॉल्वमेंट है, whenever there is a kind of nature involved in your imagination, that imagination becomes strong. Getting it? So ये जो imagination होती है वो कैसी बन जाती है? Strong बन जाती है. तो this is the reason that imagination, it was an integral part of the poetic themes of romantics, or poetic universe, or poetic world of romantics. Okay. So yes, imagination पे बहुत लंबा लेक्चर हो गया. Okay, तो I guess you all understand कि क्या यहाँ पे memory and imagination की क्या memory and imagination की क्या value है in the poetry of these romantics. Okay, तो जो last paragraph है, which is very very strong paragraph, उस paragraph में आप ये देखते हैं that speaker, he was just sitting in some sort of vacant mood. Okay, there were no thoughts in his mind. But suddenly what has happened, that he has seen the memory of these daffodils, they just flash in his mind, and the moment they flash in his mind, he just feel himself to be present there. And whenever he feel himself that he was in that scenario, in that incident, or in that place, he just feel that all the joy, that pleasure he has received by watching these daffodils, it just generated again. Okay, it just what you can say, he in his imagination he just reached with these dancing daffodils and he started dancing with them. Getting it? So he is kind of justifying his own theory of poetry, in which he has said, in which Wordsworth had said that poetry is what? It is a kind of overflow of powerful imagination which are recollected. Okay, there is a word, recollected. So this imagination or these feelings, they are recollected in tranquility, in the solitude. Getting it? So this is the kind of thing that we see as the prominent theme in this poem. Okay, so just open the second screenshot. This is the screenshot of symbols. Have you all opened that? Yes? Yes? Okay. So symbols. So see, this is the format of writing the long questions. There is going to be a introduction of the writer, and there are going to be some facts about the poem, and then the next point will be the question asked. Okay, whatever is asked, either they have asked about theme, or they have asked about poetic imagination, or they have asked vice versa, whatever. Okay, then there will be the next paragraph or next point will be about that question, and then you are going to add these kind of things in the poem or in the long answers. Okay, whatever they have asked, you can just make some points like poetic imagination, you can see, for example, or you can use nature and humanity. So these are some sort of points that you can employ in your long answer, and you have to do it right. Just when we finish the lecture, you will just sit down and you will start writing. This is for your own convenience. Okay, there's nothing for me. Okay, it is all for you. Anyways, so we will just see the symbols. तो जो symbols आपको क्या लगता है इसमें क्या यूज होते होंगे? Okay, the only one and only symbol that has been used here is daffodils. Okay, obviously daffodils बहुत ज़्यादा symbolic है. Getting it? How this is symbolic? This is symbolic because daffodils, जैसे बीच में भी हमने ये बात बीच में भी आई थी that daffodils जो होते हैं ये कब grow करते हैं? They bloom. Okay, they basically bloom in the season of spring. जब हम यूनाइटेड किंगडम या फिर हम ब्रिटेन की बात करते हैं तो ये स्प्रिंग के सीजन में, जैसे स्प्रिंग का सीजन आता है तब डैफोडिल्स ब्लूम करते हैं. तो इट इज काइंड ऑफ सिंबलाइज इट, these daffodils they kind of symbolize the arrival of spring. Getting it? So ये क्या करता है, स्प्रिंग सीजन जो है, स्प्रिंग सीजन के अराइवल को डिनोट करता है. तो जो पहली चीज जो है हम देख सकते हैं कि डैफोडिल्स क्या चीज डिनोट करते हैं या क्या चीज सिंबलाइज करते हैं. दे सिंबलाइज द अराइवल ऑफ स्प्रिंग. और जब भी हम स्प्रिंग की बात करते हैं तो स्प्रिंग जो है इट एक्ट्स एज ए रिन्यूअल, ए रीबर्थ और अ काइंड ऑफ न्यू बिगिनिंग. गेटिंग इट? स्प्रिंग के टाइम पे क्या होता है, आप नेचर में बहुत ज़्यादा ब्लूम देखते हैं. ठीक है, विंटर जो चीज़ों को बंद कर देती थी, स्प्रिंग सीजन आते ही क्या हो जाता है, हर चीज़ ब्लूम होने लगता है. आप देखते हैं फ्लावर खिल जाते हैं, ट्रीज के जो पत्ते शेड हो चुके थे, छोटी छोटी जो कोपलें हैं वो ब्लूम करने लगती हैं. दीज सीड्स जो अंडरग्राउंड सॉइल के नीचे आप जो सीड्स देखते थे जो छुपे हुए थे वो धीरे धीरे स्प्रॉट्स उनके खिलने लगते हैं और बहुत सारी चीज़ें. ठीक है, तो स्प्रिंग जो है बेसिकली इट डिनोट्स द न्यू बिगिनिंग. ओके, काइंड ऑफ रीबर्थ. Okay, so this is symbolic because daffodils it serve as a kind of the arrival of spring or a kind of rebirth or new beginning. Okay. Okay, and the second thing that is very beautiful, you can say, in these lines, what these daffodils symbolize. Okay, this also, as Ria was saying this, कि जो daffodils हैं, they also represent the natural in the natural capacity for beauty, or you can say that how beauty can be manifest. Getting it? कि किस तरीके से ब्यूटी, नेचर में जो ब्यूटी होती है, daffodils उसका बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है. How beautiful the natural things are, how incredible, how nature has this incredible capacity for beauty. How beautiful, how incredible the things, the natural things are. Okay, so daffodils also present a kind of ability to manifest that beauty, and it is done in very subtle and innovative way. Getting it? There's kind of symbolism that drives, that become the part of this poem, and why he has done that. This is the center argument. Why he has presented the nature in its most beautiful form. The main reason behind it is that people should notice nature. Okay, we have studied that earlier also, that people should welcome every form of nature. They should be welcoming this suddenness, the kind of the beauty of nature. Okay, so yes, we have discussed that. You can just read it, you can just listen that from the earlier sessions. Getting it? So these are the symbols, and now finally we can see what we can see is what are the poetic devices that had been used in it. We have discussed that already. Throughout the poem there is a kind of personification. आप पूरी lines में, सारी poems में आप personification बहुत आराम से देख सकते हैं. Personification, क्योंकि daffodils को ही एक person की तरह present किया गया है, तो personification is a figure of speech in which the non-living things, okay, or you can say these human emotions, they are ascribed to the natural world. Okay, so these human or human-like or person-like abilities, they have been ascribed to the non-living things or the natural things. In the poem specifically, these emotions, they have been employed to natural things, so we can say that. Okay, so there are various and various examples. What I remember is that there was a personification when daffodils were being called crowd, okay, and host, and they've been said that they were dancing and they were flittering. Okay, so this is a kind of examples. Okay, or what I remember is when they were tossing their head. Anybody else remember anything? What are the other personification which been employed? What were them? Yes, anybody? The examples of personification in the poem? Yes. Anybody? क्या personification यहाँ use हुए थे और apart from these which I have mentioned, apart from that? कोई और? There was some more left, I guess.
नहीं शायद एक the waves beside them.
Yes, very good. Yes. Okay, waves.
Tossing their head.
Waves they were dancing beside them, and yes, they have done what? They have outdid these sparkling waves in glee. Okay, these all things, these emotion, they were attached to a person or a human being, but what he have done, when he has employed the personification, he has used it with the natural form or the natural object that are present in the nature. Okay, and dances with the daffodils, this is a kind of personification again. And yes, simile is been used in yes, the very first line. Okay, simile is a figure of speech in which there is a kind of comparison between two things. Okay, and they are compared with words like as and like. Okay, as और like के साथ जब दो comparison किया जाता है, तो this is a kind of figure of speech which is simile. Okay, line first में हम देखते हैं as a cloud. Okay, that he was walking, he was wandering lonely as a cloud. And second जो simile हम देखते हैं वो है as the stars that shine. Okay, so this was the kind of simile. And yes, the another thing that has been used here is alliteration. Okay, where is the alliteration? किन lines में alliteration use हुआ था? Can anybody tell me that? Where was the alliteration? Alliteration was in line second when he said high hills. Okay, just underline that. If you forget to underline that, just highlight that. High and hills in line number second, and somewhere there is dancing daffodils. I guess I don't know where there is dancing daffodils. Okay, so dancing daffodils. What the alliteration is? Alliteration is when there is a repetition of consonant sound. Okay, consonant पता है ना? Consonant. Okay, it is all in there. See it. Just write down high and hills. Okay, high and hills consonant. तो इसका repetition यहाँ पे बार-बार the sound or the word D, it being repeated. Okay, the first word has been repeated. Okay, the first word dances and daffodils. These two words, they have been repeated. Okay, so the alphabets, these alphabets being repeated. Okay, so this is the kind of alliteration that has been employed. Okay, the next one is what is the next one? Next one is scissora. Scissora. Okay, what is scissora? We have studied that. What is scissora? Yes. Scissora, what is that?
Interruption.
Very good, very good. Scissora is a kind of interruption when suddenly writer was.
Interruption.
Yes, beta, very good, very good. Okay, so yes, I'm properly audible, right? I'm audible or not?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm audible, right? Yes. So yes, very good. There is a kind of interruption in between. Okay, there was a ingoing development of image. Okay, and suddenly what has happened? Suddenly there was a but. Getting it? There is a kind of development of an image, but suddenly there is a kind of interruption in between. So these kind of interruption, they are used in many places. First in line 4, you can just underline that, or you can just write it, that in line 4 there is a kind of interruption when daffodils, okay, daffodils, he suddenly he was just developing the image of daffodils. Okay, he was kind of personifying it, that daffodils, he saw a crowd. Okay, you can just memorize that daffodils, when he was watching the daffodils, okay, he was not watching the daffodils, he was just wandering here and there like the cloud that float all over these hills and valleys. Okay, then suddenly he has seen what? He has seen a crowd. Okay, and then he has used but. Okay, this is the kind of what you can say scissor are used in these lines. Okay, this but. Okay, why this is but? Because he has seen that there is kind of some host, they were the host. Okay, these golden daffodils. Okay, why he has used that? Just to present a kind of angelic order. Okay, this is a kind of reference. And the caesura that we have discussed, I guess what we have discussed when we were talking about this figure of speech, which was these what were these lines? Can anybody tell me that? When we were discussing caesura, where we have discussed that in the poem?
And the waves
Yes. Very good. Very good, very good. So when we were talking about waves, okay, the waves, they were dancing beside, but what? They have done what? They have overdid them in the dancing. Getting it? So this was the caesura that been used in the poem. Okay, so very, very beautiful figure of speech this is. Alright, and the last thing was the hyperbole. The hyperbole that has been used. What was the hyperbole? The only hyperbole used in this poem. Hyperbole is exaggeration, when you try to present an image with the exaggeration. Okay, बढ़ा चढ़ा के चीजें जब बोली जाती है. What was the example?
10,000 saw I at a glance.
Very good, very good. So this was the 10,000 that I see in a glance. Okay, this is a kind of hyperbole, because eyes, it has a kind of limits. Okay, you cannot limits in a way that you cannot exactly count the number. You cannot exactly count number the 10,000s. Getting it? So this is a kind of limit, and this is a kind of exaggeration that about the daffodils, but that has been made just to enhance the kind of emphasis he want to provide about the daffodils. So yes, this is a kind of this figure of speech is just used to provide a kind of emphasis on daffodils. Okay, so in this way we have just completed this beautiful poem, and I'm just trusting you all that you all have understood it very very properly. You all have understood. I am just thinking that. Okay, and yes, tomorrow is holiday, all right. So we are going to continue our classes day after